Hello. We're going to be celebrating Purim in about 10 days, and I thought it would be appropriate to make a short video and share with you, I think, an important insight that I've learned once again from our great revered rabbi, one of the great rabbis of the preceding generation, the Rabbi Joseph B. Soloveitchik. The question concerns just what type of holiday, what do we celebrate on Purim? What was the type of event that the Jewish people enjoyed? And particularly, the Rav makes a distinction between what we would call in Hebrew Geula, meaning redemption, and Hatzalah, meaning a rescue. The Purim is never called Geula, the way say the Exodus from Egypt, Geulat Mitzrayim, and that stands behind the reason, as the Rav says, why we don't say Hallel in Purim and other legal issues. Purim is called Hatzalah, a rescue, as when Mordechai told Esther that if she won't take the action that he's asking her to take, even though it means risking her life, Ravach Hatzalah, the Jews will have this breather and escape will come from some other source. God will see to it. But the type of answer that God gives to save the Jews is not a redemption. We're simply saved. We're saved from one political disaster, from one impending mass murder, by some political machinations that in the end caused the man behind the plan to kill the Jews, Haman, to himself be hanged. What's the real difference between redemption and this sort of rescue? Redemption involves a deep internal change in the attitude, in the mental attitude, in the consciousness of the people who are redeemed. When the Jews came out of Egypt, it wasn't just that we were no longer subservient to Paro, and we no longer had to build his cities and bear his whip. We were also changed in our mind from being simply a motley collection of slaves who vaguely remember their forefathers and they had some sort of communal ancestry, to a people, a nation, who are united in their beliefs and in their adherence to the Torah that was given to us in Sinai afterwards. It's an internal transformation. The people that have undergone redemption, that have had the great privilege of being redeemed, are no longer the same person. They're no longer the same people as a collective. They're no longer the same people as individuals. Whereas a political rescue, such as we had in Purim, does not involve any deep transformation in the people or in the status. We were saved, yes, we were saved from a huge impending disaster, and of course we're very thankful, and we celebrate this holiday every year. But it's not the type of redemption that anyway parallels the redemption from Egypt or what we are looking for in the future. And in fact, there are many smaller Purims that are recorded, called Purim Katan and Moed Katan, where Jews across the world, throughout the diaspora and across the centuries, have listed certain days in which they had a communal rescue, that their particular community was in danger and was saved. If you look in the Encyclopedia Judaica, the old edition, which I have, you can see here a long list of these individual communal Purims. It begins with Algiers on the 4th of Cheshvan, another one in Algiers being saved about 200 years later, 11th of Tammuz, and even a third one for Algiers, alphabetically, Ancona, Avignon, Baghdad, Belgrade, Cairo, Carpentras, and so on and so forth. All these communities have celebrated particular days in which they were saved from some impending local disaster, and no need to tell you that there were no shortage of communities that were not saved and suffered all sorts of disasters. So the type of Hatzalah that we celebrate in Purim is an important but local in geography, and also, I'd say, localized in time, rescue of the Jewish community. What we're looking forward to, and we're hoping that we will be worthy of, is redemption. We now, of course, have all sorts of local passing threats to deal with. We have the regional superpower Iran, which wants to destroy us. They, too, are just transient. We have these politicians who are now stars because they're so flashy and they're so exciting, who are vile, vicious anti-Semites. Their time will come, but what they may do us harm. They may not do us harm. We hope that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will save us from them, but we're looking forward to is a real redemption, a real transformation in the Jewish people, in the consciousness of the Jewish people, to go back to being a people who are no longer subservient, not to the material world, and not to any of the political powers of the material world, and are really have freed their minds and their spirits to be devoted to the worship of Kadosh Baruch Hu. Thank you very much, and have a happy Purim.